Oh my god, I'm coated in pig fat and sweat. It's like an orgy from the 70s. Especially with this mustache. I've got like pig fat and old man sweat in it. My god. It's like the way somebody probably felt after going down on Burt Reynolds in like 1972. Welcome to Hand to Mouth. We know being broke sucks. We make it suck less. LARD! LARD. This is an off-putting one for me. I've never done it before. I am curious to see how this goes. Now, what I have here is actually the leaf fat from the kidneys of the hog. I know where this pig came from. I actually know the farmer who raised it. I know how it lived. The lard that you find in the store tends to be hydrogenated. It tends to be very, very processed. That is not what we want. It's what people wanted when they wanted to make pie crusts out of lard and they didn't want the flavor of the pig. And we're going to be trying to make a fairly flavorless lard today. But at the end of the day, for a lot of recipes, having a little bit of that flavor of pork fat, we all like bacon, right? It's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. And there are a lot of markets, especially Mexican markets here in the United States, that still serve the real, honest-to-goodness lard from all of the fat from the pig rendered down into that beautiful, silky substance that makes beans taste amazing. And that's what we're going to make today. I've never done it before. I don't know how it's going to go, but from what I understand, I just cut it up real fine and heat it on low, and it becomes magical pork juice. First step, we need to open up this bag, kind of get a sense of what we're dealing with in terms of the portions. From what I've read, there may be some things to trim off, some little nasty bits here and there, although a lot of that can end up in the pot because the rendering process is supposed to help pull all of that up out of the fat anyway. That being said, if there's any real gristle or nastiness, we're supposed to trim it off. So we will be using our, as always, one true knife is gonna get real greasy today. I have this urge to make lard creepy, I think because internally I've been told that this is a creepy ingredient. But at the end of the day, I eat bacon. So it is somewhat hypocritical of me to not be willing to process the fat of the hog into something that can bring sustenance to myself and my family. If I'm going to go full vegetarian, this goes off the menu. But as long as I'm willing to eat meat, and especially pork, there's no excuse not to make my own. Let's take a look at this stuff. I have no idea what this looks like. Oh, wow. Look at that. So this is really, really dense. It's kind of sticky. It's very firm. I mean, I think this shouldn't be too hard to cut down. It's got actually really no serious, scent that I can really talk about at all. At most, it sort of smells like Crisco. Sorting our flesh. We have so much flesh. Ooh, look, okay, so I think this is kind of like the gristly stuff that was being described is looking like just kind of pieces of kidney. And I think I should probably trim off the kidney chunks. Right? Right? Oh, there's a bit. That's, woo. Look at that funky mister. Oh, I'm silky. I want to rub it in my beard, but that I should definitely not rub raw pig fat in my beard. See that? There's like a skin, and usually with silver skin you take it off. I don't know if you do that with this or not. We'll see. So that's actually a bone. Oh, wow. Okay. If you were new to the stream, this is not the right knife. That's the point. There we go. Oh, actually, you know what? This is not a bad example right here. This is about the size of bit I'm looking for my pork fat. The idea here is mostly just to let as much of that fat render out of that flesh as possible over a low, slow period. So, this is our pot that I have kind of full of already chopped pig fat. I have a little bit more to chop, but I think this is at a point where I can start it on the stove. So I'm going to start that now. So the biggest thing is that I was told to put it on low and leave it there and to add just a little bit of water, which I didn't do. Water. Just a little touch. Just a dadd'll do ya. Water. That's the same water I drank from, but in reverse order, so it's probably fine. Also, I didn't pour the pig fat on it, so this is probably fine. This is going well. This is going well. I can't wait for Martha Stewart to call me. Oh, hello, dog. Do you just want me to turn my back so you can steal it from me? You are a thief, Leia. I know your thiefy ways. Your thiefy doggy ways. You're a doggy who loves animal parts. That makes you like all the other doggies. She will continue to see if I will drop my guard in order to steal things throughout the rest of this. We are cooking lard today for a couple of reasons. First of all, I had some, and that is the hand-to-mouth motto. If you've got it, cook it. Secondly, I think that in terms of fats, it's one that's often overlooked. People think that it's too hard to render down, or they think of it as only the product that they can find in the grocery store, which is highly processed and usually made through torture. If you love Leia, pigs are as smart as Leia. Well, maybe smarter than Leia, because Leia is a good girl, but she's not always the smartest. She's a good girl, dog. But pigs have a similar internal life to dogs. There's just not a way around that. However, if when you look at a dog, you think to yourself, ooh, I'm going to give that snacks until I need a snack, then you're totally in the clear. You are morally consistent. Leia, do you want one more treat because I said that you had the same brain as the piggy and then said I'd eat the piggy? I would never eat the Leia. You eat a lot of poop. Your fat is filled with poop. This is the part where it becomes very easy to scorch on the bottom. I'm thinking about this kind of the way that I would cream. There's nothing sexual about this. It's just pig fat. Anything you're feeling is your fault. This is my keto diet smoothie. I just boil pig. Now, there's part of me that says pull it off. You know, I've got a lot of liquid going on. It's going up nicely. But I don't have even one cracklin. I've not seen a single cracklin yet. And I want cracky piggy parts. We're really starting to foam up. I assume if that's anything like soup, that's kind of what we want. We want all of these impurities and these little bits to come floating to the top so we can skim them off. And then eventually we'll strain it so that we have the cleanest possible fat. I do need a downshot camera for the stove. We're going to get a camera for up here. And I want to have something set up for the cutting board. And then I want something that's just on me. That'll probably be the nicest camera will be on my face because I'm the most important. We're also going to get a different mic. We're going to get a boom mic. If you can tell right now, I'm using a podcast mic, which is why it sounds okay from this distance. This might be the mic I use for hand-to-mouth podcast. But this is not a boom mic. It's not really designed for capturing audio from that distance. That is something that I'll be able to improve once the Kickstarter monies come in. So this should all get fancier as we go. I would be doing this at an even lower temperature if I were in my slow cooker, but I broke it. So I'm doing it on the stovetop. Also, so that if you don't have a slow cooker, you know that you don't need one in order to do this. This is a totally doable method, and this is very easy to keep stirring. I mean, the nice thing about this is that it's very slidey on the bottom of the pot because it's a giant pot full of fat. So keeping it moving is not that hard. So we all know that I didn't really chop that lard as well as I could have, and it's not as clean as it could be. So probably this is going to be a more yellowy kind of lard. But look at it. You see that silkiness? That is going to be serious. I mean, that is just some very flavorful stuff going on right there in that pot. We've got little cracklins. We're really starting to get those cracklins going. Now, some of them have become kind of weird sea creatures, multi-tentacled horrors from the deep. Let's strain it in. So, pot, strainer. We getting the concept here? Put the strainer over the pot, and then we pour the grease over it, and the piggy parts stay in the strainer. This feels dangerous. Legitimately dangerous. There you go. See? You can kind of see the chunks floating in it. Those are the crispy chunks, and then when they come out, they're pretty hot. Oh my god, that's hot. Try not to pinch hot grease. That's my lesson for today, for everyone in the hand-to-mouth family. Oh god, don't do that. It looks cool, but it splashes everywhere. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to lift this out of this, and I'm going to chill this whole thing, and once it's nice and chilled, it should form, there should be a water layer that forms at the bottom that I'll be able to take out. That's just that little bit of water to keep it from scorching. I actually got this pork kidney fat for free. This was stuff that they were going to throw out because nobody was going to buy it from them, and they didn't have enough space in the freezer. You're not always going to get that lucky, obviously. But it tends to be very inexpensive. And I want you to just ask yourself, how many sticks of butter is this? Because that's what we're making, right? This is the equivalent. This is Crisco, this is butter, this is a cooking fat. This is a basic pantry cooking fat. And if you are willing to put in the time, and as you can see, it was just a couple hours just hanging out and chatting with folks, you can have enough cooking fat. I mean, that's a Crisco bucket. That's going to last me months. That's going to last me months. It's going to be a better quality fat than just about anything I could buy. I know where it came from. I know what's in it. I know what went into the animals that created it. And I know how it was made. I know there's nothing in there but pig fat and heat. And that's what I want for my family. It's what I want for you, Hand to Mouth.
Hey, Internet. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who's checked out the new videos. As you can tell, I'm being super experimental and just really digging into this and trying to find something special. Part of that is actually doing a lot more with the Hand to Mouth community. And I've set up a new channel for all kinds of podcasts, unedited live stream archives, and other content that I think you might really enjoy. So go ahead and click. It'll be somewhere around here. I'm not going to point anywhere. I'm rubbing a doggy. And check it out. We actually have one today. That lard took me hours to chop through. So long, I actually made you 2 updates. 2 updates in 1 day. And the second one is on the Clips channel. A Canadian shows me how to make chili. A fellow Ultra TSAB member, Mr. Entity. Go check it out today. And I'll see you next week. Unless I see you live Sunday, when we're going to be doing LARD 2, the lardening. When I make yummy, yummy deliciousness with the lard. When I make yummy deliciousness with the lard for the layer.